Yusuf is the new CEO of a company that has seen brighter days. He believes that he can achieve what the previous two CEOs couldn't, and that's returning the company to the days of profitability and growth. Many challenges confront the new appointee, but to be able to generate a strategy, he must gain as much knowledge about the company as possible. So he decides to dive deep into the company reports, aiming to find out the real causes and effects on the company's performance. Figures reveal dwindling revenues, lost sale opportunities, and non-existent research and development. Further investigation shows increasing costs in overheads, purchasing, and logistics. Cost cuts were attempted by the previous CEOs, but their strategies continued without any real success. In fact, revenues dropped once cost reductions were actioned. The fix became obvious to Yusuf. Cost cutting wasn't where the solution was. The saving factor for the company was in increasing its production. Not a simple return to the production of previous good years, but breaking through towards new heights. Your life can be perceived in the same manner as Yusuf's new company. You go through ups and downs in the same way that companies struggle with their performance. You do, you make, you give. You also don't do, you use, and you take. And as with Yusuf's company, if your life is running at a loss, then you are in a state of consuming more than you are producing. Everything in life falls into one of these two categories: production and consumption. There are no acts, choices, relationships, or events that fall outside of their individual domains. And at the end of doing the math, when you aggregate the various ways you live your life, you'll find out whether you are in a state of profit or loss. In life, production and consumption are not limited to material things. They involve the full spectrum of your existence: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. They're also not restricted to your person, but also involve those beyond, including family, friends, colleagues, clients, society, and so on. Production, of course, is the work you put in both professionally and personally, such as the products you make, the content you create, services you provide. And it is also the wisdom, time, and effort you give your children, so that they in turn become producers and consumers with the best balance for their unique selves. Production includes the affections you selflessly give to those important around you. Even education and self-improvement are both production, as they provide you with a new ability to produce more effectively and to become a better version of yourself. Consumption, I must clarify, cannot be perceived solely as negative. It is necessary for the equilibrium of life, and we cannot be expected to independently provide every element of our existence. We need things like homes, transport, food, etc. We want love and affection. We want to laugh and cry and find pleasure in the movies or songs that give us those sensations. But there are distinctions between elements of consumption. At one end, there is consumption that is vital for our existence, and at the other, there is consumption that has fleeting reward, no residual value, and characterized by a long-lasting numbing effect. The first part of the solution is to ask yourself where you want to be. Do you want to be on the right side of production? Or are you content as a consumer? Typically, people who produce find that their time has value, and that week after week, they feel fulfilled in that they did something with the time they had. Consumers lose the concept of time. One week looks and feels like the next. Life is a flat line that moves on without excitement, challenge, or real reward. One day they're 25, and the next they're 52. So I ask you again, which side do you want to be on? So, you are a producer. Great! So here is the key. Always produce more. Simply produce more. As in Yusuf's company, the previous leaderships tried to resolve their crisis by reducing consumption and failed miserably. Their main driver should have been to push harder to make, and make more. So how to do it? Step 1. Assess your current production, and use that as a datum point to action an increase in your production on any and every level, be it at work, your home, or your own self-development. Some areas of production will be easier to attain, while others will demand more planning and effort. Step 2. Review your current consumption and remove the elements that provide zero value in your daily life. That includes bad habits, excess pleasure, dangerous numbing, and even unhealthy relationships. Be ruthless and stop hoarding your consumption. Step 3. Set realistic production goals, and diligently remember to constantly shift upwards the levels and quantities of your production. You can't stay on the same level, or else the most likely next direction will be downwards. So what does it all mean? It all comes down to one thing: making life better. Making life better for you and for every single person around you. By constantly striving to living a higher and more productive existence, you then act better, you make better things, and you give much, much more. The higher you move in production, the more opportunities to make dynamically will come to light, and the luckier you will become. As it is said, you make your own luck. Challenge yourself to be the best producer you can be, and enjoy a life of joy, self-fulfillment, and prosperity. Thank you.